When I was watching this movie, I was like, what is up with boys and their toys? I think it's like they just want to make things and be in them and fight. And I mean, it must be really, I don't know, what's your take on?
My take on it was like exactly the same as being with my 3-year-old, you know, but it's like on a bigger, boys never change like that. They love gear and tech and explosions and fights, and you know, you can see it from the minute they're born, you know, when they start playing, and it never changes.
Then you must be the coolest mommy on the planet then, because you're like when you go to work, you're surrounded by all this coolness.
Yeah.
And so I mean.
My son was 3.
Did you get respect? Was that?
I think I'll get it later, because he was 3 and he was super freaked out by how big the suit was, and he didn't like the look of Mickey at all. You know, he was like recoiling. He looked too much like a villain. My daughter was sort of like, you know, it was a lot to take in, but they loved actually coming to set and hanging out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
To go, you know, this time around Pepper gets to do a little bit more than just like stand next to Robert and stuff, and so you actually got in on the action. And so what was it like to kind of be a part, more like totally integral to like these big, huge sequences that that maybe in the past you weren't a part of in part 1?
It was fun. I mean, you know, when you do a movie like this, you think, you know, you just have to be game for everything. And there was only one, you know, there's one scene where the car that we're in gets cut in half and then it gets yanked away, so we were being pulled by these steel cords, and I was like such an old, by the end I was like, oh, my neck, my back, I can't do this stunt anymore. I felt like such an old lady, but it was fun to be involved in all of that. It was different for me.
I'm gonna say, I'm going on a limb, you're not gonna do a crazy all-out action movie next. Is that, there's no bug? You didn't want Scarlett walking on set, you're like, yes, this is me next year.
I'm too old now, I swear. I don't know. It's a lot of what I saw. I mean, it takes so many weeks to shoot like one tiny bit of explosion, or you know, it's just it's tedious. I'd rather just be in a scene and talk to someone, and then they say cut, and then you go home and eat.
And talk you do. This is a really it's almost like there's a separate movie in here where it's just you and Robert having banter, which is the kind of, I mean, I love like talkie films, so it really reminded me of those like Tracy Hepburn, you know, like all that. I mean, so to kind of play off of him and to have that rhythm, because at the end of the day it is that. What was it natural? Is it because it was based on the first time around, or was it easy to? We
just have this thing when we do a scene together, and I don't know, it just works. It just comes together, and we have, you know, we have really good chemistry, and I understand his brain, he understands my brain, and we just have a really good time. So luckily, I mean, because I think it's an important aspect to the film that we have that chemistry and that back and forth. So luckily, it's very easy. It comes to us easily together. You know, sometimes with different people, it's not that easy.
To work on a film that has so much fanboy like love for it and stuff. Is it exciting to be part of this Marvel universe? And then are you prepared to kind of continue on to do this every 2 to 3 years? You know, kind of show up on set and just.
I would, you know what? I would love to. I would absolutely be excited to do a 3rd one if they decide to do a 3rd one. I don't even know if they're talking about doing a 3rd one yet, but it's such a great group of people, and you know, if John and Robert were there, it would just, I mean, and Don Cheadle and Scarlett, it was really a dream to be able to do a job that was so much fun and easy for me. You know, I got to, like, I probably worked, you know, half the week. I got to be with my kids a lot, and it's a great job.